This afternoon we are here at Epcot for part 2 of our series, Should You Visit Epcot?
We already covered in part 1 World Nature, World Discovery, and World Celebration. So today we're going to go look at World Showcase, which has 11 countries represented. So
here we go.
Here we go!
So there's a big debate when you get into World Showcase. Do you go right to Canada, this way, or do you go left to Mexico? And I personally do not have a preference, but some people do. Something you really don't see is these fountains going off during the day. This is for the Harmonious show that runs at night, but you don't see these things run during the day. Not sure why they're running now, but very cool. So we are here in the port of entry section of Epcot, which is where you can go left or right to go into World Showcase. And it's bookended by 2 gift shops. A little additional info, there's a boat that runs here at port of entry. Across the lagoon, if you want to save some walking time, that boat runs from the right side of port of entry over to Morocco. Now we are heading into Mexico. So obviously we went left instead of right at port of entry. On my right is the Cantina, which is a great little quick service restaurant. On the left is a place where you can get margaritas and some food. That is not a festival booth, that is always there. And then the large pyramid ahead is part of the Mexico Pavilion. Inside is a restaurant, shops, the Grand Fiesta Tour boat ride, and the La Cava bar. So this is La Hacienda de San Angel. Inside the Mexico Pavilion is the San Angel Inn.
They're all called San Angel. That's how you say it.
Over here on the left is a meet and greet area where Donald comes sometimes. So if you look on a world map, you'll notice that Norway and Mexico are not next to each other. In fact, they're on different continents. But in Epcot, they are right next to each other. So when you are walking around World Showcase, to your left, Mexico first, Norway second, and the first thing you come to in Norway is an area where you can meet Anna and Elsa, which is back here. They look really busy, so I don't think we're going to meet with them right now. There's a restroom here. And then there's this little eating area, which is in back of the bakery. We'll show you that. They have something there called school bread, which is just fabulous. It's filled with like this custard. It's really, really good. But this is just part of Norway. There's more to it. So as you can see from this topiaries here, here's where Anna and Elsa are. There's a restaurant over here. I will butcher the pronunciation of it, but Akershaus. It is a character dining restaurant. You're gonna need reservations for that. You might be able to get on a walk up, but probably best getting reservations. Frozen Ever After ride up here in front of us, very cool.
All right. Don't you think we can just take it from here? We don't have to.
So this is the entrance to the ride. I tell you, this usually has a pretty long wait. This cool little waterfall.
I'm so excited. So excited.
And then there's some shops here.
Now we're gonna walk to China, which is the next country. Nice view of the lake.
So cute.
This building on my right, coming up with the umbrellas, that's a festival booth. But it's closed right now because we're in between festivals. But for the 4 festivals that are here, the Festival of the Arts, Flower and Garden Festival, Food and Wine, and International Festival of the Holidays, they will have food in those booths and beverages and some. Look how beautiful this is. Here is a restaurant, it's called Nine Dragons. And then right next to it is a quick serve. And they sell things like egg rolls and let's see what else they serve. Oh, they have combos. Orange chicken, noodles, vegetable stir fry, that kind of thing. And inside here, in the Chinese pavilion, they have a store, House of Good Fortune. It's a huge store. It goes all the way down that courtyard. This is really pretty at night too. They have it lit up. And over here is a replica of a temple. So we're gonna walk this way. There's an exhibit in here and it's on Shanghai Disney. It's really cool. It has models in there and mannequins and all kind of information on Shanghai Disney. We're gonna go in this building. In here is a movie. It's called Reflections of China. It's in 3D and it's always showing. So we're gonna go in here, see this beautiful interior. Hello, thank you. Let's look up. It's amazing in here, amazing. All these posters decorated all around this whole rotunda. That's the waiting area for the movie, and the movie's back where those dark doors are to the left. Over here is a kid cot station. Every country will have a kid cot station, and the kids get a little bag, and it has a little suitcase on it, and they go to every country, and there are activities they can do, fill out, color, whatever, in each country, and they can put it in their little suitcase. You'll notice that when you go into each of the countries, during the day until fireworks, they play music that's indigenous to that country. It's really nice to hear different music. So you get to experience different food, music, beverages, art, architecture. We're crossing over this bridge. Back there is where they load the barges and the egrets hang out. And then they go under this bridge and they go out into the lagoon. And this is not a country, but it's called Outpost. It's fun. They have a little quick serve here. They have some interactive things like drums, places you can sit, have something to eat, relax. Now we're leaving the Outpost and we're walking into Germany. That booth where those ladies are sitting, there's usually a music booth where they have entertainment. Now, here's a place you don't want to miss. The caramel. Well, I'm not going to pretend I know how to say that. I'm going to call it the caramel cruche. It's sponsored, or it's a Werther's shop. You can get Werther's candy in there. But one thing they sell is caramel corn. Do you like the caramel corn?
That caramel corn is amazing. If you come over here and if you even think you like caramel corn, go to that place.
Yeah, it's really good. So in here, they just opened these shops in here recently. They've been closed for a long time. Boy, if we had smell smell abilities, you could smell that caramel popcorn. Here's an outdoor beer stand. So you can get items from Germany in these stores, just like you could in Norway and Mexico and China. And here is the Beer Garden restaurant. This is a all-you-care-to-eat restaurant. You need reservations. Like we said, check for the walk-up. We can go on the opposite side. And this is a quick serve. They sell pretzels, bratwurst, pretzel bread pudding, beer, wine, and of course sodas and water. There's a cute little surprise. This shop right here, this isn't the surprise, but it's nice. It's a glass arts shop. You can actually create some art. They have tiaras here, some jewelry. But over here is a special little place in Germany. It's a little village. It's called the Romantic Road. And then here is the village. And they have trains in here. See if we can catch one.
When you leave Germany, the next country you come to is Italy. We're making our way over there now. This place is so well themed. It looks so amazing. There are no attractions here, so there's no movies, there's no rides. But what they do have is food and shopping. This is designed after St. Mark's in Venice. So beautiful. And the Flower and Garden Festival is just about to start. So a lot of that stuff is out now. So there are floral arrangements everywhere. Like I said, no attractions, no rides, but food. So the first restaurant is right here on the left. I think you're pretty much going to need reservations for all of these restaurants, with the exception of a walk-up pizza place, which, to be honest, I don't really recommend that, but lots of other stuff here. And then we walk further back, and there's Via Napoli, which is a pizza restaurant. but not your average pizza restaurant. The pizzas there are giant. They could probably feed a decent sized family. I don't know, family of 4, maybe family of 6. These pizzas are huge. And they're priced accordingly. But you may want to check this place out. And then that's the walk up over there. I've eaten there once, and being honest, it wasn't good. So on the side of the entrance, there's this little bar you can hit up for a drink if you want. So there you have it. That's Italy. Good restaurants, amazing shops, and then the little bar on the side of the entrance. Now, something that's unique about this country is that it has this plaza over here on the opposite side. So it extends on the opposite side of the walkway, and it's right on the water. So this is a good fireworks spot. At night, I've watched fireworks from here a number of times. And if you want a good view, unobstructed view, you can get that from here, but you gotta get there early. Look at this, how beautiful it is. See how large this is? So you can see why they would use this for special events sometimes. Just kind of a bummer, because then here in the park, you can't enjoy it. But when you can, it's super cool. When you leave Italy, there's a little gelato stand, and that is just before you come to the American Pavilion. The American Gardens Theater is over here on the right-hand side, and this runs quite a bit of, they have quite a few concerts here during the different festivals throughout the year. I'm not sure who they're getting set up for. But this is the American Gardens Theater, and we've seen a whole bunch of different acts here. Some really great shows. This is March coming up, so Daughtry is coming, Audio Exchange, Tommy DiCarlo, singer from, current singer from Boston, Smash Mouth. I'm not gonna read them all to you, but there's some great acts that perform here. Behind this little booth here, which is permanent, it's not a festival booth, there is Regal Eagle Smokehouse. I've eaten there a bunch of times and definitely recommend it. I don't consider myself a barbecue connoisseur, but this place has pretty good barbecue and a decent variety of food as well. Mac and cheese is really good. So if you're looking for some barbecue, this is definitely one of the places that should be on your list. So then there's this animatronic event, the American Adventure. It's a little old school, but I like it. It's a huge theater inside this place. And this is a good place to go even if you just want to cool off. As I say, beat the heat. The architecture in here. Also part of the American Pavilion, there's a fine art store. If you want to check that out for some artwork, it's not real big. It's not really a souvenir shop. It's art. But this place has some cool stuff in it, as you can see. Then on the other side of this, there are some restrooms if you need those. They're not in abundance in World Showcase, I got to tell you, but there are some restrooms back here. And then this is also where KidCot is as well. Then over here on the right, there is a booth that is permanent. This does serve festival food, so no festival, no food right now. And there's a little souvenir stand here as well.
So we're halfway around World Showcase. Halfway around the world. We have more countries to go. Next is Japan, so let's go do this. Lots of birds around here. They don't like you to feed them because then they get a little bit too comfortable with the guest. So here we go. We're going to Japan. Before we go to Japan, there's a funnel cakes booth. Smells good.
And that's funnel cake, not fennel cake. Fennel cake wouldn't be very good.
No.
Funnel.
Funnel. Okay. And here we are, Japan.
I know, man.
And this is a sake bar, a sake stand. Okay, so here's Japan. Now, in Japan, they have 3 places you can eat. One is a quick serve, and that's that building that has lights. It's a little elevated on the left. By the way, if you go up this walkway and you go into these gardens, it's really pretty, and they have water and ponds. They have koi fish in here. See if we see any in here. Oh yeah. There's some. So this is called Katsura Grill. And they have sushi, they have edamame, they have teriyaki, curry, it's miso soup, desserts, beverages. Then over here, up these stairs, is a restaurant. And it's called Teppanado. And it's kind of like what do you call that type of hibachi restaurant? So they cook in front of you, on a big flat griddle. Again, you need reservations for this place. You don't need it for Katsura Grill. This is a gigantic store. Oh, one thing that just opened is the pearl place where you can get pearls. They will open pearls for you. So you come in and you buy oyster, and they'll open it for you, and in there are pearls, and then you can set your pearl. They have jewelry where you can set your pearl. This shop has stuffed animals, it has clothing, it has food, housewares, books, art. I mean, you just name it. Fans. You name it. It's in here. It's quite the shop. All right, so over here is another restaurant. And this is it right here. So Paul took a quick look at the menu, and what was it?
It's $250, so if you're budget conscious, this is the place for you right behind me.
Yeah, that's for one person, right?
I believe so. I'm sure it's great. I personally have not eaten there. Hello Morocco, coming to you next. This pavilion kind of needs some love from Disney. There's not a whole lot here. There's a shop, a sit-down restaurant called Spice Road Table. They do have some entertainment here, which you probably can hear. Here's a little gift shop over here. And then next to it is Spice Road Table. And like I said, this is a sit down, but it's right on the water, so cool. So you can kind of sit out here and be right on the water. And then across from here, there's a place that serves festival food. Again, no festival right now, no food. But you can get food at this little place right here. And then there's some indoor seating, some outdoor seating. Over there on the other side of the fountain, there's a small little exhibit, Race Against the Sun. And then we're gonna walk through here. So back here's another gift shop. This doesn't look like it's open right now, but that's where it is. There's a place where you can get sangria. And then back here there used to be a restaurant which is not open anymore. This area is there's just not much going on. Kind of quiet back here, some seating. You want to get away from things. This is a good place to go, but there really isn't much going on back here. Look at this. It's easy to miss some of these details in World Showcase. There are an awful lot of them. And this is just one of them here in Morocco. If you're not looking for it, you'll miss it. So leaving Morocco, the next pavilion we come to is France. It's probably a lot of people's favorite. It is mine. And there's a lot to do here. There are, I'm trying to think, 1, 2, 3 sit-down restaurants. There's some quick serve here. There is 1, 2 attractions. There's 2 quick serve places, so I'm going to tell you about those. So over here is Chefs de France, and I'm going to brag on this place because it's really, really good. That is definitely worth a stop if you like French food. The atmosphere is great, service is great. That's a must-do in Epcot. Over here, this is a permanent fixture, just a place where you can get drinks, but that's not festival food, that's always there. In front of me, this is a festival food booth, so that changes with every festival. Right now, there's nothing. And then we come to the center area, which is magnificent. So you can see the Eiffel Tower. And then these fountains, which are kind of a centerpiece of the French pavilion. And there's a bunch of stuff in the back. We're going to walk through all that. So there's shops. There's all kinds of stuff. So here we go. Where it says Impressions de France. That's a movie on France. And then that also runs a Beauty and the Beast sing-along during the day. So that runs 2 different shows. It just depends when you're here. There's a restaurant here that I'm gonna, again, mess up the pronunciation on because that's probably what I'm best at. So Monsieur Paul, not even sure if that's close. Fairly pricey restaurant. Haven't eaten there, so I couldn't say good, bad, or otherwise. I'm sure it's very good. Over here is an ice cream shop. So if you want to get ice cream, this is the place to go. And then in here, this is the, what you call a dump store from the Impressions de France attraction. So when you come out of that attraction, you end up in this store, but attached to it is a quick service place called Lazal. And that is my favorite restaurant to eat in here in Epcot. The place is so good. We're gonna go out a different way than when we came in. So some little shops here, a wine shop, and then there's a cutaway over here that goes to another section of France. This pavilion is really, really big. This line you're looking at here on my right, that's all for ice cream. So look, this arcade here is a cut through to the new section. They just added on to this pavilion. And this will take you to the new section where the Remy ride is, and a new restaurant, restrooms. The perfume shop. There's a little place over here to eat. So if you grab your food at Lazal, you can come out here. And then this is the entrance. Well, there's a few things going on here. So this is the entrance to the Ratatouille ride. So well themed. And then up here is a crepe restaurant, which there's a quick service area over here, which is like dead in front of me. And then there's a sit-down restaurant as well. And that's right here.
Little flimsy undercarriage.
And in front of me is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This is a super cute ride. If you've been on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, this ride it's a similar experience. But I really like this. Would recommend it. And just the theming in the area, the architecture is so nice. Look at this fountain. This park has something that's unique from the other four, in that there are two full entrances to this park. This is the back entrance called International Gateway, and this backs up to the Epcot Resort area. So if you're staying at places like the Boardwalk or the Beach Club, you can just walk right into Epcot through that entrance right there. Also, the Skyliner drops you here. So if you're coming from Hollywood Studios or some of the Skyliner resorts like the Riviera or Caribbean Beach, that drops you right here. And you can get into Epcot this way.
What do you see? Look what you can see. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. You can see the Eiffel Tower. Now we're heading over to England. And I hear a band. Sounds like Beatles. Yeah? So on the right here, seating to eat for quick service. There's a fish and chips place right there. Quick service. And it's next to the Rose and Crown bar and restaurant. Or I should say pub and restaurant. Let's go here. On the left is Twining's Tea. Has a thatched roof. During Flower and Garden, they have tea plants. The plants that they make tea from in the garden. Back here, the Queen's table, housewares, clothing. And if you go farther back, Toy Soldiers, a toy store. I don't know if it's still happening there, but Winnie the Pooh used to meet back in there. Okay, let's go check it out. Here's the Rose and Crown. Now, the Rose and Crown has an outdoor area. You can't really go in the pub. You can go in there and order, but you can't sit in there. But they have a place outside. And then if you want to eat there, of course, you can sit inside to eat. It's a good place to go for fireworks. Because you're right on the lagoon. Just to point out, on the left side, restrooms. And then something that seems to be a novelty are the telephone booths. So you see, there's things to do in Epcot, things to hear, watch, eat, drink, take pictures, learn about, watch movies.
Here we go in Canada. Now this area up here has some shops. And then there's a really cool area at the top. You know, the thing that's cool about this is like how it's all put together. And the architecture, look at all this. So the attraction is this movie, which is back here, called Canada Far and Wide. And this is the entrance back here. Look at this. This giant waterfall. You might not have known this was back here, even think it's back here. But there's this huge waterfall at the entrance to the Far and Wide movie. In case you need to call home while you're here at Epcot. One thing I will tell you, if you're a fan of popcorn, as I am, they have maple popcorn here, which may sound meh to you. Maybe it sounds good. It's like really awesome. Would definitely recommend you try that. It's one of those things you can get a refill for. So if you have your popcorn bucket and you can just pay the refill price, and instead of getting plain old delicious Disney popcorn, you can get maple popcorn, which is super good. So this is the entrance to Canada Far and Wide, the movie. You don't have to walk up all those stairs and through all that if you don't want to. And the entrance to Le Cellier. Le Cellier is a high-end steakhouse, which I have not eaten here. I'm going to say yet, because I would like to eat here. I hear it's very good. And I would love to check this place out. You might want to do that as well. There's also another bank of phones. I'm not sure what's with the phones in Canada, but here's the entrance to Far and Wide. If you want to do that from down here, you walk back there. So yeah, Canada. Check it out. Might be something that you'd want to see at Epcot. I can smell that maple popcorn from here. I want some maple popcorn. Should you visit Epcot? Yes, just for the maple popcorn. So we just took a trip around the world. If you're curious, how long is that? It's around 1.2 miles to take that walk. But of course, you venture into the different countries, different stores, restaurants, check out all the different stuff. You probably walk in a lot more than that. I don't measure my steps, so I don't know. But it's long. I'm tired. I don't know about you. But we're about to wrap things up here with our trip around Epcot's World Showcase.
So in planning your vacation to Walt Disney World, you might ask yourself, should we even go to Epcot? I mean, I have a little kid, will he even enjoy it? Is it too much walking? Well, that's why we did these series, so that you can decide whether or not you should go to Epcot, if it's worth it.
And that pretty much wraps it up for us. We want to thank you for watching. We hope you got a lot out of this video, and we hope you join us on our next magic adventure. Bye. So one of the other things we didn't show y'all is there's a putting green here at Epcot.
Not a putting green.
Well, it could be. You don't see that every day, unless you're in Epcot.